Welcome to The Kitchen Table, a show dedicated to helping you escape diet culture, gain trust with food, honor your body, and live a brighter life. Hello, welcome back to The Kitchen Table. I'm your host, Alicia Brown, a non-diet dietitian, and today I want to talk about a new diet that Gwyneth Paltrow just came up with. I'm going to try my best to just stay within my window of tolerance on this episode because this conversation is going to get me a little bit fight or flighty. This is going to get me a little bit riled up, but this is diet culture. For anybody who is new here, if you don't know what diet culture is, at the end of this episode, you will know exactly what diet culture is, how it's promoted to, how it influences you, and how you will feel compelled to change yourself, your body, the way you eat as a byproduct of diet culture to belong and to feel accepted and to do what other people are doing that have like this image of health and thinness associated with health that we're so often desiring, right? In the culture that we live in today. This is a great example of diet culture in full force. The fact that Gwyneth Paltrow, who is, a well-acclaimed actress, right? She's been in the media, television, movies. She's won Grammys, right? I've known Gwyneth Paltrow, it seems like forever. The name is so resonating. I don't remember a time I first met Gwyneth Paltrow. She's long, lean, slender, blonde. She is like she's like the diet culture ideal body of thinness. If you were thinking you want to be healthy, and you are absorbed in diet culture as we all are, you might think, oh, she looks really healthy. I want to do what she's doing. And of course, we all do this, right? Who hasn't hopped on social media or Instagram and saw someone who looked healthy? Diet culture's definition of healthy, I should say. Diet culture's definition of healthy, which is lean, slender, toned, right? Especially Gwyneth Paltrow, the thing that she has going for her is that she's reaching like her later years. I'm not sure how old she is, but she's like holding on to like this youthful component as well, which just drives women in because not only does diet culture want us to be endlessly thin, it also is wanting us to be endlessly young, timeless, right? Holding on to your youth, right? And so Gwyneth kind of becoming, this older women, well-acclaimed actress who is beautiful, who has this diet, new diet that just came out that has a very thin, slender body. Of course, so many people gravitate toward that and they want to say, oh, I want to know what she's eating. I want to know what she's doing. She must have figured it out. Gwyneth must have figured it out. And if you look at Gwyneth's website, you can see that even, one of her employees, they refer to her as their boss. So I'm guessing one of her employees wrote this Goop article that said like, oh, Gwyneth, she has tried countless things in order to optimize her well-being. We lost count of how many times she has tried to optimize her well-being. So when she does a cleanse, we listen. When she does a diet, we listen. We listen so we know whatever sauce Gwyneth has, we're going to do. This is harmful, everybody. This is so damaging. And what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to get into some of the nitty-gritties of this intuitive fasting, which is the new diet that she came out with. It's called intuitive fasting. It sounds like intuitive eating and intermittent fasting kind of meshed together. You can tell if you're especially if you're watching this on YouTube, like my facial expressions, like it gives it away. Like I have just no words for this. Well, I have a lot of words for this, but I'm not in support of this. And I want to talk about why. And I wanted to just start off with that conversation with like, of course we fall into this trap. Of course we fall into the dieting mentality. And of course we play the comparison game. And of course we want to be thinner. And of course we want to, look healthy, appear healthy, be desirable. We have like these innate desires that are tied to these damaging behaviors. We have innate desires like wanting to belong, wanting to feel accepted, wanting to be loved, wanting to be attractive. Those are innate human desires that are tied to these harmful behaviors. And when we follow icons like Gwyneth Paltrow and this new diet that she's coming out with, and we say, we want to be like her, I'm going to do what she's doing, in that process, we damage our relationship with food and our bodies. Because guess what? Majority of us, we're never going to look like Gwyneth Paltrow, ever. That is a hard pill to swallow maybe for some of you, but I tell you what, our genetics were just not predisposed to appearing like that. She is definitely in the top 1% of people that match that ideal body ideal. And we don't know her struggles with food. We don't know Gwyneth struggles with food. Some of the irony of this diet, this intuitive fasting diet that she just came out with, it's so funny. She launched this diet during National Eating Disorders Awareness Week, which was last week. I don't know. The irony is kind of funny. I had a friend send me, a little blurb on Instagram that said, hey, it's kind of funny that Gwyneth is coming out with a diet during National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. The irony in that is that these diets damage our relationship with food, and this one is not an exception. No, if you read her website, you're going to see words like recharge, reset, transform, run away from that. Absolutely run away. And I'll tell you why. And I'm going to get into the nitty gritties of this diet. Again, it's like intuitive fasting, a flexible four-week intermittent fasting plan to recharge your metabolism and renew your health. She partnered with Dr. Will Cole to write this book. Okay, so we can actually just stop right there for a second, just pause. So if you looked at the cover of this book, it's interesting. Intuitive fasting for a flexible, right? They always want to say that it's flexible, but really these rules are rigid. You're either following the rules or you're not following the rules, right? So whenever it says a flexible 4-week program, it's like, no, if you actually want to do anything successful in life, you're going to do it the right way. At least that's how I am. If I'm type A, if I was not a non-diet dietitian and I just wanted to be healthy and I said, oh, I'm going to pick up this book to help me be healthier, I'm not being flexible with what the diet's saying to do. I mean, am I right? I'm either following the rules or not following the rules. That's why I was so good at developing an eating disorder, is because I tried to follow the rules of being healthy. And guess what? I didn't even follow it that great. I never got to be thin enough, right? I never got to rebel. I never got to be in the dieting, health-centric, damaged. I never damaged my relationship with food enough, right? Even though I had such a disordered relationship with food and needed to seek medical help, but still probably wasn't to Gwyneth's standards. Anyway, if you look at the beginning, if you look at the cover of this book, Intuitive Fasting, flexible 4-week program, it's got 2 plates. It's got 3 plates strung together, and only the plate in the middle has food on it. So it's like fast, eat, fast. I'm just not sure. This is not really clicking with me. To have a plate with nothing on it seems very empty, and it almost seems a little bit disordered. It almost seems like, you have to have the willpower to not put anything on your plate. That's kind of what I'm getting when I'm looking at the front cover of this cookbook. And when I hear things like recharge your metabolism, renew your health, first of all, the only thing that's going to help you recharge your metabolism is food. The only thing that's going to keep your metabolism functioning is food. That is the purpose of your metabolism, is to get energy, to actually get energy in the form of ATP, but to get nutrients, right, into your cells for energy, to generate ATP, the mitochondria, so that you can do all of your activities of daily living. So when you fast, right, you decrease your metabolism. Fasting decreases your metabolism. Now, of course, we don't want to be eating all the time because there's an ample amount of nutrients that the body can eat and use. And when we feel satisfaction, we can feel hunger again. This makes mealtimes even more satisfying. There's a natural rhythm in the body that can happen once we build that relationship with food. But what this diet is saying is that, oh, no. I'll tell you when to eat. I'll tell you how long between meals you need to eat. And once I tell you enough during the course of 4 weeks, I'll tell you what times you can eat, when your eating windows are, when you can't eat. Even if you're hungry, just ignore it, dismiss it, delay it, deny it. Look forward to your next meal, and also eat what I'm telling you to eat in these 4 weeks. I've got recipes in the back. So don't eat when I tell you not to eat. Eat the foods that I tell you. And in 4 weeks, then you can start listening to your body. So that's when the intuitive part comes back in, right? So it's like, oh, then you can start listening to your body. Oh, this is just not true, everybody. This is just not true. The only way to recharge your metabolism is with food. And the only way to listen to the body is to practice it. And you don't need, there's no prerequisite for intuitive eating. It's not like a do this, then you can practice intuitive eating. No, there's none of that. There might be some inability at this time for you to like not identify with hunger and fullness. That might be a thing. And I have heard from clients saying that, oh, through the process of intuitive eating, when I found myself satisfied and I allowed myself more time between meals, I found myself hungrier kind of going into the next meal. And then when I'm hungry, at least moderate level of hunger, not extreme hunger, but moderate level of hunger, I'm able to satisfy myself better. So again, like that's kind of getting back into the rhythm after listening to the body. The only way that we can get back into the rhythm is for the body to trust that you'll feed it. That's the opposite of fasting. There's distrust with the body, right? When we fast, when we're hungry, the body's not going to trust us. The body doesn't know when it'll be fed next. The body doesn't know that you're following a diet by Dr. Cole and Gwyneth, and they told you not to eat right now. The body doesn't know that. It only knows that you're not feeding it and that it must be a period of starvation. It must be a period of famine. And so what does it do? It's going to decrease your metabolism. Again, so the opposite of recharging the metabolism, that's exactly what's on the front cover of this dieting book. Also, it's on the front cover is renew your health. Okay, I don't know. That's so fluff. That means nothing. That means nothing. Okay? Renew your health by my cookbook when I tell you when to eat and what to eat. And you just follow that and then you can eat intuitively. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. We can honor hunger. We can respect fullness. We can feel satisfied at meal times. We can develop trust in the body so that it will know that it can go hours without eating. The body will innately know that it can go hours without eating. It can even go hours without thinking about food. That's what a healed relationship with food looks like. Feeling full and satisfied and nourished at meal times, allowing fasting to naturally happen without anybody telling you when to fast or how long to fast. And to eat the next thing that sounds really good and satisfying and balanced to you at the next meal, that to me is what intuitive eating is. You don't need to fast first before beginning intuitive eating. You don't. So what we talked about in today's episode is 2 parts. 1, this is diet culture, okay? This is diet culture. When you see people like Gwyneth, super thin, appearingly healthy by diet culture standards, putting on a new diet, of course we want to see what they're doing and do what they're doing, but we'll never be like Gwyneth. We'll never have Gwyneth's body. Gwyneth is in the 1% of pretty unachievable body types out there that fits diet culture's ideal. I know I will never have a body like Gwyneth, and so I'm going to embrace my own, and I'm going to eat intuitively on my own. How about you? That's the first part of our conversation that we had today. The second part, I wanted to disprove why this intuitive eating modality, this diet, why this won't work and what damage that it will do for thousands of women out there. Okay? When we are not the authority of when to eat, we will have to dismiss our body in order to follow somebody else's rules. Don't give anybody else that authority. Don't give anybody else that authority. You can govern when to eat because you can listen to your body. In order to listen to your body, there might be a couple of things that you'll need to do. And I'm here to help guide you through that process. That's literally why I'm here. I help people understand that they can connect with and trust their own inner intuitive eater so that diets like these do not have to phase them any longer. So that they're no longer tempted by the Gwyneth Paltrows of the world. They're no longer tempted by celebrities turned health influencers. They're no longer tolerating the false ideals, the unattainable ideals that diet culture is setting for us, because we know we'll never be healthy enough by their standards. We'll never be young enough. We'll never be youthful enough. We'll never be pretty enough for diet culture standards. But you know what? We can be ourselves. And when we turn into being ourselves, our truest, most authentic selves, and when we feed ourselves accordingly, when we honor our bodies, when we respect our bodies, when we discover satisfaction with food beyond just the green smoothie, right? You don't have to take all the supplements in the world, like Gwyneth is saying. You don't have to find unicorn dust to be able to have the right ingredients for her recipes. No, health can actually be attainable. You can have it. We also don't have to worship health. Gwyneth Paltrow, here on her website, this is saying, Gwyneth has worshipped health. We've done the work for you. Now you can worship health through this cookbook that we're giving you. No, right? Health is achievable and attainable for you right now in the body you're in. And I mean that with my whole heart. It took me a long time to understand this, but I do. It's a really important concept. It's something that we want for ourselves. It's something that we want for our children. Let's stop focusing on weight loss. Let's stop giving our authority to other people to tell us what, when, and how much to eat. And let's reconnect with ourselves, our own inner intuitive eaters, to guide these experiences ourselves. And trust me, it's worth it. Once you heal that relationship with food and find this trust in yourself, ditch the dieting mentality, ditch the pursuit of weight loss, and trust in yourself instead, you will find more health, lasting, sustainable, total health than you have ever realized. Because guess what? Your body, for maybe the first time in a really long time, at least that was my experience, can be nourished and satisfied. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If this resonated with you in any way, if this is a message that you know somebody in your circles could really receive, you know, somebody that maybe has tried diet after diet after diet, and they're wondering where to go next, well, intuitive eating is where to go next. Like, I have the answer for you here. And beyond intuitive eating, here at the kitchen table, we talk about cooking and cooking tips. You know, we talked about navigating food boredom last Monday. Go check out that episode if you haven't checked it out yet. We talk about style and showing up authentically. We talk about home and how we can make our house more like home, our sanctuary, where we can feel at home in our homes and in our bodies. You know, the intuitive eating work doesn't just end at healing our relationship with food. It's like now we can live these bigger, bolder, brighter lives that we talk about on the show. So don't hesitate. Screenshot and share this episode with anybody who's having a hard time with dieting and the dieting messages that are out there right now. Maybe somebody that is struggling with their relationship with their body during this coronavirus time. Maybe send it to somebody who you feel like you want to support you in healing your relationship with food as well. That means so much. Everyone is welcome here at the kitchen table. And don't forget, while you have your phone out, screenshot and share this episode if this was any value to you. Share it on social media. You can tag me at aliciabrown.rdn. That's Alicia, ALICIA, brown.rdn on Instagram. Find me, follow me there, tag me in your screenshot and shares. And don't forget, most importantly, hit subscribe so that you'll never miss an episode at the kitchen table. We launch solo cast, just me and you at the kitchen table every Monday. And every Thursday, we've got great expert interviews. And I've got the best interviews coming up. You don't want to miss one. Actually, go check out Jill Zimmerman talking about reducing pain. In last week's episode, Without Weight Loss, talk about reducing pain by aligning your body. It was such a bomb episode. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. And we will see you on Thursday's episode. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day. Talk soon.